This is a journey I never thought I would embark on one day. An Ironman. So I learned about Tuco last year. It's a non-for-profit charity run by Zach Pettit, and it's called It's Time to Know Osteosarcoma. Osteosarcoma is a bone cancer that primarily affects teenagers and young adults, and is most commonly found in the long bones. Zach formed this charity after his late best friend passed away from the disease. Filming Zach in the desert, completing his run, made me realize that there was so much more that I could be doing to help and to also believe in myself more. So shortly after that trip actually, that's when I decided I wanted to help play a part in not only raising money, but raising awareness and seeing what it was like to never give up. I have no idea if it's any good. I dedicated 7 months to learning to swim, cycle, and try not to get injured whilst running.
Brody came to me and said that he wanted to do an Ironman. And I thought, if Brody puts his mind to anything, he will do it. So I was 100% and excited for him.
I was honestly really surprised with how well training was going. And I actually felt like I was really enjoying myself again and enjoying making videos again. I can't believe we're already at week 4 and we have 27 weeks to go. So it's week 6 and we've got about 20 weeks left of training, and I'll see you guys next week. Thank you for watching week 17. Bye. But I do still think it took a little bit of a toll on those around me, especially my close friends and family, because all I was doing in the end was just training, working, repeating day after day. 4 weeks after my Ironman, I went out for my second run for the day after doing a run in the morning and a swim in the middle of the day. I was actually documenting this day for the weekly episode, but I had a small bit of knee pain in my last run and I didn't think too much of it. So run is done, but I'm not gonna lie, in my entire 6 months of training, I have never felt like that. That really sucked. Hopefully it's just a little bit of DOMS, I'm hoping, from my 19K earlier on in the day and the swim. Little did I know that I actually tarnished my last 3.5 weeks of training. Leading into race week, I tried not to show it, but I was a little bit worried. I had a coffee with my mum and my brother on the weekend before, and I was still limping. I wasn't really sure how it was going to go. I knew I'd get it done, but I just didn't know what damage I'd really be doing.
What's going to happen at this Ironman? But I knew that Brody's mental ability would get him through. He was going to finish this Ironman no matter what. But I was just worried at what would happen with the knee after it. But I knew no doubt that he would get through it.
Honestly, I hate making excuses, and I knew I was going to finish the race no matter what. But that being said, there were a few things in the final week that did make me feel really overwhelmed. My wetsuit ripped 2 days prior. I forgot a CO2 tool, and I know they're minor things, but I'm not sure. They just made me feel really overwhelmed in that last couple of days leading into the race. And then race day arrived, and I was ridiculously nervous.
How are you feeling now?
Going well, a little bit nervous now. Pretty nervous, actually. A lot of nervous, actually. Fairly nervous. But at the end of the day, all you have to do is swim, bike, and run. So there are 3 things I've never put together in the same day, but I knew I was going to get it done. You know, it's finally going to start. Been training so long for this, so yeah, it's finally going to start. It's pretty nervous though. So the rolling start, the buzzer keeps going off, and then it's finally your turn, and that's it. Buzzer goes off, and you're off.
Showtime, bro! Go, Dougie!
So funny to reflect on, but the swim was absolutely amazing. I felt so good during that swim. It was so interesting. People were honestly pretty ruthless in the water. It was crazy. I found finding my way through the first 500 meters to get past people was relatively difficult. And then after that, I thoroughly enjoyed the swim. I literally couldn't stop swallowing the water. All I was thinking was that there was no way I'm doing this right now, which probably led to too much water in my mouth, but that doesn't matter.
Initially, Brody needed a lot of help with his technique in terms of just understanding how to float. Usually his leg was dragging a lot. He didn't have much movement in his body and was just dragging himself, struggling to catch air or even breathe when he was doing. I was maybe 30-40% confident that he could do it. We will depend on a lot of his effort and how he continued training. When I saw Brody swimming for the first time, I was hopeful that he was able to progress and maybe finish the 4K, but I needed to see his effort on the next few days to understand if he was able to do or not.
So the swim finishes and I was honestly feeling pretty good. I felt pretty fresh despite drinking a little bit of salt water here and there. I took my time getting to the bike and just enjoying the moment, to be honest. I think at this point, I was still so happy that I was actually doing an Ironman.
Don't worry about the knee, son. Don't worry about the knee.
And then we started the 180 kilometer ride, which was going to be the longest ride that I've ever done.
Go, Brody.
Hi, Brody.
Go, Broads.
Good luck, bro.
Feeling good. 14 k's in.
Buddy!
There were so many people on the side of the road with bike issues or punctures. And I always tried to think about the positive things, but it always loomed in my head about what if something happened. I probably shouldn't have, because ironically at the 80 kilometer mark, I had a drop chain on the bike and that's when everything started going wrong. When this happened, I started to fully cramp up. And honestly, at the time, I wasn't really sure why or what was happening because I followed the nutrition plan to a T. But then I just decided to keep going on my way whilst cramping, and then I had a few other issues as well.
Okay.
Yeah, can't stop cramping. I can't take in any electrolytes.
Are you sick?
No, I just can't take in, like as soon as I take in electrolytes, I just go to toilet straight away.
Yeah, of course.
Like I'm not even trying to push the watts that we were meant to, I'm just trying to spin it.
Okay.
But like I'm cramping every single time, man.
Okay.
No, but like I literally like can't take in any electrolytes. So later I found out that the nutrition plan had far too much sodium than what I needed, and that having too much sodium has the same effect as not having enough sodium. It was pretty much like I was having a sip of fluid and it was going straight through me every time. It was absolutely insane. So to top that off with cramping as well, it started to get pretty intense. And then I had 2 more drop chains that we later found out that there was an issue with the front derailleur. I also somehow lost the cap to my spares bottle twice. That made me go back up the hill to go and get it and try to pick it up whilst I was cramping. Honestly, I was in so much pain at the time now that I'm reflecting on it. I cramped for 100 kilometers on the bike, kept trying to get sodium in, not knowing that I was making it worse. And it was honestly a brutal experience. I'd have adductor cramping, glute cramping, hamstring cramping, everything was cramping. And then at some points, even when I was in the TT position, my hips were cramping. It was insane. It's really funny now that I speak about it, but it really wasn't that funny at the time. It was pretty painful actually. But then finally, at roughly 175 Ks in, we had Matthew Flinders Drive. So we've come to check out Matthew Flinders Drive, which is one of the steepest hills in any Ironman. It's a 17% gradient. So yeah, it's very hilly. This one hill, you could say. It's gonna be so hard. I honestly refused to walk up that carpet, so I just kept pushing through the cramping to get up that hill. And honestly, at this point, I knew that I was never gonna give up. And I think that's what the ironic part is in this. Tuco stands by refusing to give up, and that's all I felt like I was trying to do in the end. The bike leg finally finishes, and I was walking like a penguin or like as stiff as a board as soon as I got off that bike.
He just looked a little bit defeated that what happened on the bike wasn't what he planned, and all of us turned around and just went, yeah, he's not looking the best. But he kept going and he was out there.
I can tell that he's not right. He feels really bad. But at the same time, I can feel that he really has the determination that he's going to finish this.
I'll see you soon.
Let's go.
At this stage, it was about 4 hours since I couldn't take in any fluids, and this happened for the next 2 hours whilst I was on the run. So I set off at the planned pace that I wanted and just instantly started cramping again. I honestly had no idea what to do, but I still knew that I would finish the race.
Battling, man. Battling. Can barely walk.
It's okay, bro. Just keep this pace, you'll be finished at 8:30.
And about 2 hours into the marathon, I decided to stop trying to take in electrolytes and just try and have gels and eat and drink water and walk at aid stations as much as I could. Looking back at the footage of me running to try and stop the cramping, it's honestly the funniest running posture that I've ever seen. The crowd was so amazing. I had so much support out there. At about 3 hours in, I remembered what Lockie said to me, and he just said, enjoy the day. So that's actually when I decided to try and cheer other athletes on who were also having a rough day. I honestly think this alone really started to make me feel better. I think I collected the most high fives on that course that day. As soon as I seen a hand go out, I just high-fived them straight away.
To see where Brody come 7 months ago to what he's achieved now is truly inspiring. And to be there, witnessing nearly every step of the whole process, was something that I will never forget in my life. Seeing the finish line and the way it's set up is absolutely phenomenal. And I knew when he turned that corner, it was going to be something he will never forget. And the elation on his face when he turned that corner was just magnificent. And I'm just so proud of him.
The whole journey was incredible, you know, from knowing nothing to became an Ironman. It's an incredible achievement. There's only 1% of the population on this earth can finish Ironman, and he's one of them. So I'm really proud of him.
Brody did an amazing job swimming. I'm pretty proud. From the first time I saw you and seeing that you were able to complete, that's pretty cool, man.
I felt so stoked that it was over, but for some reason I also felt disappointed. I know it's hard to say that you felt disappointed after completing one of your life goals, but I just couldn't really fathom what happened during the day. But honestly, I learned so many great lessons that day, and I learned that you can keep fighting whenever things get tough. And at the end of the day, that's what it's about. As the guys down at Tuco commonly say, keep fighting and refuse to give up. I hope that at the end of the day, despite any challenges you may be going through, there will always be people to help you through tough times, and you'll get through them.
Eat oysters, live longer, unless you're single.
I was talking to my friends in Brazil, and they're like, oh, you're helping a guy to swim an Ironman. I was like, yeah. Yeah, this guy.